Okay, so today we're talking to Jonathan Wood, corporate partner at Weil, Gotshal Manges. Thanks for talking to us today, Jonathan.
My pleasure.
You've just chaired a panel discussion on law firms as a business.
Yeah.
Commercial awareness is obviously quite a big nebulous term for a broad range of knowledge and skills and analytical skills that candidates need to be able to demonstrate both in their applications and as lawyers.
Yeah.
But to what extent does understanding the law firm itself as a business come into play there?
For candidates, I think it's a really vital thing. When you're applying for a job, you're clearly trying to demonstrate that you understand, what the law firm does, what its practice areas are, who its clients are, and therefore understanding what pressures may apply to the law firm, depending on what pressures are applying in the market and to its clients. So if you look at Weil, for example, one of our large practice areas, certainly in London and internationally, is private equity, to understand what's happening in the private equity market, which will influence deal flow in the transactions that we do, and where the money comes from and how the financing markets are influencing that. It is quite an important ingredient to demonstrating why you think you want to join our firm or a different firm, depending on where you want to go. So I think, really demonstrating that you understand the law firm as a business, and the business will be affected by market-related conditions, and therefore your experience as a trainee and a developing lawyer will be equally affected in that way, is an important component, just to understanding how you're going to fit in and what contribution you're going to make over time to the growth of the business itself.
For candidates who are just starting to consider this concept before they prepare their applications and are maybe quite new to the idea of being really familiar with the world of commerce and corporate law, where would you direct them to just get started to introduce themselves to this as accessibly as possible?
Well, I mean, there are endless sources now, and in some ways there's information overload compared to what was available when I started to come through. We would look at just the broadsheet papers and the Financial Times. There's enormous arrays now of wealth of information. But everything, obviously, from taking a read of the FT or the business sections of the broadsheet papers or their website equivalents, to looking at Robert Peston on BBC, to all of those things, is a helpful way of getting a bit of a flavour for what the overall economic environment's doing. I think then when you're looking specifically at firms, and you might be looking at practice areas themselves, you'll find actually on the websites of many of the law firms there's quite a lot of commentary about what might be happening in the market and what firms are doing in that context. So before you come for an interview or before you make an application, you'll just take a look at the website, see what the firm's doing, and look at the legal directories to see which firms are competitors and operate in the same practice areas and markets, and have a look at their websites and just try and get a bit of a flavour for it that way.
Finally, for those candidates who go on to secure a training contract, for example, at your firm Weil, how involved will they be at the business development side of the firm and really using that commercial awareness that they've built up at an early stage in their training contracts? Is it more a case of learning that kind of thing on the job as well?
Well, I think commercial awareness comes up in two ways. So it's really important to understand how to have a proper understanding of the commercial backdrop and the delivery of the day-to-day service that you're providing to your clients. So you need to understand what impact your advice is having on the transaction and therefore on the client overall, and that requires an element of business or commercial awareness or business acumen. In terms of the law firm as a business and how you fit into that and what your role is, certainly with our firm, we're very keen for people to see that in a day-to-day manner. So wherever there are opportunities where we perhaps do a group-related event, we'll bring people along. We tell people what we're doing with particular clients, the type of activities that we're doing with them. We have associate development, business development committees that people take an active role in. And we just generally encourage and engender that type of thinking amongst all of our staff. We're very keen for people to maintain their contacts. They come out of university and your friends may go to some other law firms, or they may go to banks, or they may go to corporates or private equity organisations, or a whole range of different places. And some of those people may go on ultimately to become clients at the end of the day. So just maintaining normal relationships with your peer group is also just a basic thing that we encourage people to do. So it happens on a sort of multi-level basis, but it's really about trying to have a sort of backdrop where everybody understands the importance of maintaining and developing relationships.
Those are some really key insights. Thank you very much, and also for a great panel discussion today. Jonathan Wood, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.